week, another episode. Welcome to No Brainer MMA. What's going on, Dan?
Not much. We both got the last two picks wrong.
Why would we start off by saying that?
I mean, we had a good card otherwise, but like.
No, you're right. Yeah, it is true. It's true. What else? You can't say anything else.
I mean, Juliana.
Yeah, shocked.
Got to give it to her.
Shocked, and our good buddy bet a nice chunk of change on Juliana too. Hit crazy. I couldn't fucking believe it. Plus 6.
Bro, I was watching it with my boy Kevin, and I'm like, Kevin and his girl, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, should I just throw like $100 on? I was at the point where I was like, should I just throw $10 on Juliana Pena so it covers the cost of pay-per-view?
Oh yeah,
and I didn't do it.
Right,
but in hindsight, it's like,
I know that's totally how they get you. Like you'll always say like a crazy underdog like that, and you'll be like, oh, crazy freak shit happens all it's only a matter of time till it happens again. And it's just like you never hit it. And then when you don't put any money on that crazy underdog, it hits. It's one of those. And then you go back chasing it next week. And there's not going to be an underdog that hits like that on this card. I'll almost guarantee. There's nothing even that big. The most is like a plus 250 maybe. I don't think it's anything crazy.
Yeah, there's no minus thousands, no.
1100 I think it was at the end. Fucking wild.
Yeah, I think one better put like $135,000 on Amanda Nunes to win 30,000.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That payout isn't even that, like, who would do that? That's a fucking ballsy ass move.
He's just like, yeah, this will be my daughter's fucking sweet 16 or some shit. Now he's like, fuck.
Okay, let's just get into this. We've been bullshitting long enough. What are we calling this? UFC
Fight Night. Lewis versus Daukaus.
Vegas 45.
Vegas 45.
All right, cool. Vegas 45. I'm gonna start off the night with Matt Sales versus Jordan Leaveit.
I already know where I'm going with this one.
Yeah, I think it's Leaveit, but Leaveit, yeah, that's what it is. Jordan Leaveit, 2-1 under the UFC umbrella, coming off for his first career loss in his last time out to Claudio Puelles, who we saw recently fight about 2 weeks ago. Killer on the ground.
He looked great.
Solid, yeah, he's solid competition. He looked great. He's a Leaveit is a grappler. Fights at a Syndicate MMA. 6 of his 8 wins coming by finish, mostly by sub, averaging 3 takedowns per 15 minutes at 40% accuracy. He's taken on Matt Sales, who's 2-2 under the UFC umbrella. Last time he fought was back in December of 2019, so a 2-year layoff basically. After a first round submission loss via twister from courtesy of Bryce Mitchell. 7 out of his 8 wins have come by finish, mostly by KO though. He's got a plus 2.3 striking differential, 42% accuracy, 81% takedown defense. He's going to be moving up in weight for this one. Missed his featherweight fight last time out by 2.5 pounds. Hopefully, I think this is a better weight class for him. He's a short guy though. But I think I'm going to go with my boy, the Monkey King, Jordan Leaveit in this one.
Oh, 100%. This guy's just a fucking freak.
He is a freak.
I mean,
mentality.
Yeah, I mean, I watched, like, his sub game is just ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. And not only that, he's got like this serial killer persona that I'm picking up. Like he'll kill you.
I watched him sub this dude Johnny Walker in 17 seconds.
Yes, not that Johnny Walker, a different Johnny.
Not that Johnny Walker, but another Johnny Walker.
I saw that same thing too.
An anaconda choke that he fucking nailed, and then he got an arm triangle in his Contender Series fight, and then ended Matt Wyman's career.
I'll never.
And then he lost to a really good grappler.
I'll never get over that Matt Wyman KO. That was so crazy, so crazy. Just put his arm on
I
it,
did tell you.
slammed into the ground.
Yeah. I think that Leaveit is just the superior grappler / BJJer in this fight.
I would say so.
I'm
It is a pretty close fight though. That other guy has some hands. Fights out of
Grappler versus grappler kind of match.
What'd you say?
What'd you say?
I said the other guy got some hands. He's not a slouch. He also fights out of Alliance MMA. A lot of good guys out of there. Dominic Cruz, Phil Davis, Michael Chandler. So a lot of good guys fighting out of that gym.
Yeah, a lot of Bellator.
Yeah, there is a lot of Bellator dudes actually. I think Phil Davis is on there also. So a ton of Bellator guys. But maybe that's saying it right there. A bunch of Bellator guys. So I think we're both going to agree. We're both going to go with Jordan Leaveit in this one, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Agreeing. Moving right into the next one. Dantel Mays versus Josh Parisian.
Yeah. So Dantel Mays, this guy can fucking beat somebody's ass real bad. But his problem is with submission, like when the fight gets taken down to the ground.
Yes.
His loss to he went 14 minutes and what? 14 minutes and
almost the whole fight.
46 seconds against Ciryl Gane. Like that's fucking
Gane, I think that's Gane's one of his only submission wins, or the only submission win in the UFC that he has.
I think he has 2.
Does he have 2?
I think he came into the UFC and just fucking subbed 2 guys. Yeah, he's sub. Okay. Yeah, he subbed Rafael Pessoa too with an arm triangle in his UFC debut.
Okay.
But anyway, this guy's about to fight for a fucking title. So like, I mean, he's the interim champ. So I can't say he's about to fight for a title. He's technically, I guess, a champion.
Don't count.
Yeah. Josh Parisian, on the other hand, I look back to his fight with Parker Porter where he lost, and his last fight against Roque Martinez, and I'm like,
Dude, Roque was an absolute killer in that fight against Josh Parisian.
It was only a split decision.
Roque outstruck him by like 140 strikes.
Yeah.
A lot of kicks, a lot of like little stuff, but just slowly like it built up. Still lost though. I don't know how.
Who, Parisian?
Yeah. Oh no, Roque still lost. I don't know how Roque lost.
No, Roque. Oh yeah, he did. Yeah. What am I saying? Anyway, the Parker Porter fight, not a very good look. And I think that Dantel Mays, Lord Kong, hits a lot harder than Parker Porter.
That he does.
So I see this fight ending pretty quickly and pretty brutally.
Yeah, it's a pretty gross fight though.
Pretty gross fight, but I got Dantel Mays.
Yeah, Dantel Mays, 3-3 under the UFC umbrella. His first 3 fights all coming on the Contender Series, like one of the longest tenured Contender Series people like ever. And then went 1-2 in the actual UFC, with his only win coming from Roque Martinez, like we just said. He's got a slightly negative striking differential, 59% takedown defense, and has lost by submission in 2 of his last 3 fights, taking on Josh Parisian, 3-1 under the UFC umbrella, with his first 2 fights coming from the Contender Series as well. He had 2 first-round KOs, and since has gone 1-1 on the UFC roster, with both of those fights going the distance. He's also fought Roque Martinez in his last time out, who total strikes-wise, like I said before, was able to outstrike Parisian by 145 strikes. Not significant strikes, but total strikes. And stuffed 6 of his 7 takedowns. So yeah. I don't know how that actually didn't go Roque's way. Roque needed a win too. That guy's a fan favorite. But Parisian still managed to get that split decision. Didn't totally agree with it. He does have a positive striking differential, averages 2.5 more strikes per minute than Mays. This is another tough one to call. The first 2 are pretty tough, as they usually are. Parisians should try to take this fight to the ground because that's where Maze struggles. But Parisian has struggled with takedowns in the past. So
Yeah, no, Maze is working on it,
yeah, I think I'll go Maze, but I'll agree with you that there is no guarantees. I would not guarantee that whatsoever. This is like a very gross fight, probably gross fight of the night. Get it out of the way right now.
I mean, if this next fight goes in Raquel Pennington's favor, it's going to be the grossest fight of the night. I'll say that now.
That's true. I'm not a huge fan of her, but we're both agreeing. We're both going to go with Dantel Maze in this one, and we're going to move right into the next one. Raquel Pennington versus Macy Chasson.
Let me bring this. I'll take this because this has the possibility. You said that one could have been gross fight of the night. This one could definitely
make a case for it.
Yeah, like she really likes to just hold people against cages.
So boring, dude. There was one point maybe 2 years ago, I thought Raquel Pennington was about to start doing a deep incline. Like she lost a couple in a row, and I was like, finally, we're getting rid of her. But she just spiked right back up, and she actually looked great.
Yeah, and she'd say, Macy Chasson, who I'm a pretty big fan of. She's got really slick striking, in my opinion.
She does.
The only loss in the UFC is to Lena Landsberg. I think she's gotten better over these last 2 years.
That was a freak loss, too.
She has a win over Penny Kianzad. She's basically fought her entire career in the UFC minus 2 fights, so she went straight into the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah, she's a true product of the UFC.
Wait, she won the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, and then she starched Gina Biznani and Sarah Moras, and then had a little skid against, not a skid, just a setback in Landsberg.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think she beats Raquel Pennington in this one. She's just got to avoid Raquel Pennington getting fucking close. She just got to keep the distance. She's a long and she's got a 72-inch reach, 5'11". Like she's tall and lanky for the division. Raquel Pennington's only 5'7". She's got obviously close distance, but I think Chasson, if she's able to use her footwork the way I think she's going to be able to, she'll be able to cash in as like a decent underdog, nothing crazy.
Sizable.
Well, Pennington is a minus 190 favorite, so up to minus 200 favorite. So you could get Macy Chasson as a plus 170 underdog, and I would take that all day, honestly. Yeah, I think she's slick, dude.
Yeah, I kind of like totally agree with you on this one. I looked at those odds and I was like, I didn't really totally understand it. It should have been, maybe I would still give her the favorite Raquel Pennington, but like more slight than a minus 200. But Raquel Pennington has looked great, 3-2 in her last 5 on a 2-fight winning streak over some tough competition. Marion Renault, Penny Kianzad. She's got a plus 0.4 striking differential, 49% accuracy, 1.1 takedowns per fight, and 65% takedown defense. She wins overwhelmingly by decision, with her last 5 fights all going to the judges.
Which one didn't go to the judges when she took the unnecessary damage against Amanda Nunes in the 5th round?
Yeah, exactly. That was crazy. She's taken on Macy Chasson, 4-1 in her last 5 on a 2-fight winning streak over Marion Renault and Shanna Young. She's very well rounded. Fights out of Fortis MMA.
Slick is the only word I use.
Slick Willie. She has a plus 2 striking differential, 49% accuracy, 1 takedown per fight, 65% takedown defense. Chasson is taking this fight on short notice. She does have that 5-inch reach advantage on her side. If she can get her jab established early, keep Pennington at bay, I think I'm agreeing with you, Dan. I think she could get this win. She just really has to avoid the clinch and avoid the takedowns. But Raquel Pennington has looked stellar.
Stronger. Wait,
who do you think stronger?
Pennington, for sure.
Yeah, I think she is too. It's that wrestling and the beat. I totally agree. But it's close. I like the underdog in this one. I don't totally trust Raquel Pennington, but as long as get that jab established, use that 5-inch reach advantage, and just let the strikes add up. Maybe she gets taken down early on, but as the fight goes on, we've seen Pennington slow also. Even though she fights out of Colorado, she fights out of high altitude. She does still slow a bit as the fight goes on. So I'm actually going to agree with you, Dan. I'm going to go with Macy Chesson in this one.
As does everybody. Like, if you really think about it, everybody fucking slows down over the course of a fight. Like,
of course, it's natural. It's what happens.
Natural.
It's natural. It's all natural, dude. We're gonna agree. We're both gonna go Macy Chesson. We're gonna move right into the next one. Charles Jourdain versus Andre Ewell. Andre Ewell, 2-3 in his last 5. He'll be trying this fight at featherweight for the first time in his UFC career. He's on a 2-fight losing streak, most recently coming off a KO loss from Julio Arce, and his only wins in his last 5 by very close split decisions. He has an even striking differential, 41% accuracy, pretty low, a pretty impressive 75-inch reach, considering that he's 5'8", and a 70% takedown defense, only getting taken down 3 times in his 8-fight UFC career. Taking on Charles Jourdain, who's 2-2-1 in his last 5. All 11 of his wins have come by finish, 8 by KO. He's got a plus 0.4 striking differential, but only 50% takedown defense. Kind of worrisome. His punching power is pretty unbelievable for a guy at featherweight. It's
Jourdain.
Yeah, it's pretty good. He got knockdowns,
but still.
Yeah, he got knockdowns in 4 of his last 5 fights, totaling 6. You got 2 in 2 separate fights, but also has been knocked down in 2 of those fights. He's a fun, stylistic fighter. He'll take a punch to land a punch. He's had some trouble stopping takedowns, but lucky for him, Ewell doesn't have that KO power, or is he good at takedowns? So I'm gonna go with Charles Jourdain in this one all day.
I mean, yeah, you hit on all the points I was gonna hit on. I don't trust Andre Ewell. I've never trusted betting money on Andre Ewell. I'm not even going to trust Charles Jourdain. I'm going to say don't bet on this one. Like, yeah. I wouldn't bet on this one.
I like Charles Jourdain.
I mean, I like Jourdain too, but it's just like, like I trust actually, no, I can't say I trust Chesson more than
I definitely trust Charles Jourdain more than I trust Chesson in this.
Yeah, but still. It's iffy.
I have no confidence in Andre Ewell, and I never will.
Okay, both of us agree there.
Yeah.
Why I am going to make a quick summary and say I am riding with Charles Jourdain because I don't trust Andre Ewell.
Is riding my coattails. We're both agreeing. We're both going to go with Charles Jourdain.
All right. So next up, Eubanks versus Melissa Gatto. If you know me, you know I'm a fan of Sajara Eubanks. Does that make her win this fight?
Yes.
Maybe. We'll see. But anyway. I'll start with Sarge. It's a fair way to start.
Yeah.
Sarge, she had 2 tough losses to Caitlin Vieira and Penny Kianzad, but both of them are on like a very upwards trajectory. Especially Caitlin Vieira, who had that fucking win over Meerschaert Tate, but she did struggle in that fight, may I mention. So it kind of shows you where Sarge is in the line of fighters, you know?
Yeah.
Like before that, like, hey, she beat Lauren Murphy.
Yeah, that's true. And she's moved back down to flyweight, and I think that's a much better spot for her.
Yeah, the question is, can she make the weight?
I think that she can. She's fighting much more determined now, and she's like a different person. I think she is.
Yeah. The odds are reflectory for her, with odds of like, almost threw up in my mouth, minus 165 to like minus 195 for Sajara. Right. I'm like, this is interesting, you know, like, do I like another underdog in this fight? Maybe. You know what? I am going to take an underdog in this fight. I'm going with Melissa Gatto.
You think so? You're going against Sarge Eubanks?
Yeah, I mean, she has a win over Carol Rosa. Her UFC debut, she looked clean. Like
She did.
like she looked super fucking clean in that fight.
Yeah.
She landed a takedown. She outlanded Victoria Leonardo by like 30 strikes. Like, I think Leonardo broke her arm though, so take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, she's only 25 years old. She's she's like our age, and she's hitting her stride. So I always ride with the young bucks. So
He likes the young bucks.
Sarge Eubanks. I remember when you had to cut off some of your dreads.
That was awesome.
But you made it.
We made it. Melissa Gatto made her UFC debut. But before that, she was supposed to be scheduled to fight 4 times, all canceled bouts. And then 3 of them were because of her. She pulled out of the fight. And then she made her UFC.
I could see this fight fizzling out like right before it happened.
You see it? Yeah. For some reason, Melissa Gatto, maybe because it's young and she's early on in her UFC career. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows the reason? It could be mental. It could be physical. I honestly have no idea. But she did pull out of 3 of those 4 fights. She did fight. She looked amazing. She beat Victoria Leonardo. And she looked amazing. I can't say anything bad about that. But Sarge, on the other hand, has moved back to her natural weight class, has found renewed motivation for fighting. She's beat and lost some of the best and still managed a +1 striking differential, 2 takedowns per fight at 47% accuracy. I think this is too much too soon for Gatto. In my opinion, I'm going to be taking the veteran Sarge Eubanks.
I could very well see that.
Yeah.
I was just taking Gatto just based on like, I kind of like this Brazilian prospect. This is not a fight I'm running into, but it is a fight that I'm
she looked absolutely crazy against Victoria Leonardo, who is a striker, so she will be facing more of a grappler heavy style Sarge Eubanks. I'm curious to see how she pans out in that, but it looked like she had a pretty well game. She had like 2 takedowns. She averaged 7 strikes per minute.
It was 1 takedown, I think. I don't know how long of it was control time.
Right.
Like, it wasn't anything fucking crazy.
No crazy control time. Yeah, she outlanded Leonardo 70-43. She had 1 takedown, like you said, Dan. Only 1 minute and 50 seconds of control time. Leonardo actually had more than that. She reversed her twice. That's why she had like 2 minutes and 30 seconds of control time.
Yeah, but Gatto looked
much. Yeah, her stand-up's pretty dope. It's pretty awesome. So we are actually going to disagree on this one for, I believe, the first time of this card. We're both going to go with I'm going to go with Sarge Eubanks. Dan's going to go with Melissa Gatto. And we're going to move right into the next one, which is Justin Tafa versus Harry Hunsucker.
This one could be gross.
Yeah, I forgot about the gross. I already gave my gross. So did you. So this is just neutral, this fight. We can't say anything bad about it. Harry Hunsucker, 0-2 inside the...
That's the worst name.
I know. It's gotta be... It must have been brutal being him in high school or middle school. Harry Hunsucker. He's, like I said, he's 0-2 inside the octagon. Both first-round KOs from Tai Tuivasa and Jared Vander of the Mountain. He's finished all 7 of his wins, mostly by sub, but also all 4 of his losses have come by KO TKO, which makes sense that he has a -4 striking differential over the course of those first 2 fights. Taking on Justin Tafa, who's 1-3 inside the octagon, and on a 2-fight losing streak, both by decision. His pro record is 4-3. He's pretty green to the sport in general. Getting a late start to MMA after he had a career in rugby. It didn't pan out, so he transferred that over to MMA.
Same thing with Volkanovski.
Yeah, exactly. I think they're from the same place too. He does have a black belt in BJJ and some very technical Muay Thai striking that he learned. Not that he learned from him, but that he spars with on a regular basis. His brother, who's a former top 10 glory kickboxer.
I take back. This fight's not going to be gross. This fight's going to be one-sided.
It very well might be. Yeah, his brother Junior Tafa was a top 10, who's actually his younger brother, a top 10 glory kickboxer. Pretty impressive to have that on your resume. Tafa only has a -1 striking differential compared to that -4, but does average more strikes per minute, and it's at 55% accuracy. Unlike Hunsucker, he has a very good chin, isn't easily rocked. I think Tafa has the cardio, the volume, and that granite chin. So I'm going to take Tafa to win this fight.
I think Tafa takes it as well. I know he's had some losses already that we've seen, but like a split decision loss to Carlos Felipe and the unanimous decision loss to Jared Vandera. I don't put too much into that. I know he got KO'd by Yorgan De Castro as well, but still, this guy could fucking hit hard. Harry Hunsucker, I'm sorry, like it just seems like you get knocked out by guys down under. So
yeah,
it's gonna be two guys from the New Zealand / Australia area that are going to be knocking him out in a row, I think. So
we might see 2 weeks of shoeys, back-to-back shoey weeks, which is pretty cool to see.
Does Tafa do the shoey?
I don't know. He might. He's from Australia, so it's that same fucking. No, is he New Zealander? What's he from?
He's from Australia. He's Australian.
He's an Aussie. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's like fucking Izzy and Robert Whitaker. Like,
yeah, exactly. That's such a. There's so many good fighters coming out of that area. It's crazy.
City kickboxing, bro.
Yeah, that is definitely to blame. Well, blame is kind of a bad thing, so that's not blame. But
France, Dan Hooker, Izzy, like
Brad
Riddell,
yep.
Like they got a fucking crazy team down there.
They really do, and now they're coming to Texas. Move over, Joe Rogan.
Are they coming to Texas?
Yeah, that's the rumors. Nothing great. Nothing in cement.
I think they wanted to go from the tightest like quarantine guidelines to like the loosest.
Exactly. They're like, we're fed up with this. We're going to Texas.
Did you see that video I sent you on Twitter?
What was it?
Of Israel Adesanya.
Oh, yes, I watched it.
Was that not hilarious?
Yeah, that was good. He died. He like literally like was I've never seen someone laugh like that. I was like, what the fuck? He was like laughing for like 10 minutes straight. It was crazy. We're both going to agree in this one. I'm going to keep moving. We're both going to go with Justin Tafa. We are going to move right into the next one. Ronnie Barcelos versus Victor Henry. Would you like this one, Dan?
Not really.
I'll take it from you. But if I take it from you, I also want the next one. That's my only.
Oh, because your boy GM3's fighting. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I see how it is.
Yeah. So if we can do
you got it.
All right. I'll take it.
I pick my fights from here on out then.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Ronnie Barcelos. I'm actually a big fan. He's really good. Was supposed to be taking on Trevin Jones, who this podcast is very big fans of Trevin Jones. Jones withdrew. So he's going to be taking on newcomer Victor Henry. I'm going to start with Barcelos. Barcelos 5-1 in the UFC and is coming off his only UFC loss in his last time out to the ever rising Timur Valiev. Although Barcelos almost had him, he knocked him down 2 times in the second round. Valiev still won. He's got a black belt in BJJ, although he wins mostly by KO TKO. He's got a +1 striking differential at 52% accuracy and 66% striking defense. Doesn't get hit too often. He's very quick on his feet. Not to mention 1.8 takedowns per fight at 56% accuracy, 92% takedown defense, and has stuffed 12 of his 13 takedowns attempted on him. He's taking on Victor Henry, who isn't a spring chicken himself. He's 34 years old. He's the same age as Barcelos, and he's a very well-rounded veteran. Has a grappling heavy fight style, but isn't afraid to strike, change it up. He's got some good leg kicks. Getting the victory here is a big ask for Henry. I think, in my opinion, he's coming in on short notice against a guy who's really good and established, but it's not out of the realm of possibility that he could win. But overall, I'm going to have to side with the well-established UFC veteran in Barcelos in this one.
Yeah, I'm going to take Barcelos as well. Like, he's just an absolute beast. He beat Saeed Nurmagomedov, Chris Gutierrez, like Bobby Moffitt. Fucking, this guy doesn't lose much. And I don't think Victor Henry's gonna be a guy. Like, that's why I said this guy's taking a sacrificial L to start his UFC career, because I'm a big fan of Barcelos and I think he gets it done.
Me too. We have seen a lot of guys come in on short notice, making that UFC debut with nothing to lose and actually getting the victory this year. And last span of a couple of months, we've seen it happen like at least 3 times. So that's why I'm a little bit hesitant. But I really like Marcel.
Everybody is
Chris Curtis. Shout out to Chris Curtis. We love you. I'm sorry I talked shit about I accidentally. Quick side note. Chris Curtis commented on one of our videos about him, and I thought it was some random dude, so I shit on him. And then it turned out it was Chris Curtis, and I felt really bad about it. So shout out to Chris Curtis.
Did you apologize?
I apologize to him. Yeah, he's a nice fella, and he's so good. I'm sorry I picked against you, bro, and I'm sorry I thought you were some fucking douchebag, but yeah, that was embarrassing. That was really embarrassing for me. But we're both gonna agree. We're both gonna go with Ronnie Barcelos in this one. Gonna move right into the next one. Gerald Meerschaert versus Dustin Stoltzfus, and the fearless Gerald Meerschaert, GM3. Just when you thought he was out, they pull him back in, Dan.
I mean, the only picture I have of Gerald Meerschaert is Khamzat Chimaev landing that right hand, and then him just being like that.
Yeah, that is probably engraved in a lot of people's minds. But I've been a fan of his for so long, and after those 2 losses against Ian Heinisch and what's his name? Yeah,
Khamzat.
I thought he was out, but like they said in The Godfather, just when you think I was out, they pulled him back in, or something like that. Now he's 3-2 in his last 5, currently riding a 2-fight winning streak and performance of the night submission wins. So pretty impressive. Question.
Might I add, I was very impressed in his last fight against Mazen Muradov, who I clearly thought was going to beat him. Clearly, I thought it wasn't going to be close.
I'm very glad you brought that up, because Makhmed Muradov was a -600 favorite in that fight, and GM3 pulled it off. Where not Muradov had 0 cardio. He reached the 2nd round, he couldn't breathe. Gerald Meerschaert just started doing his thing. He's a great grappler. 7 out of his 8 UFC wins have come by finish. And then 6 of those by sub. So he wins overwhelmingly by submission. He averages 3 takedowns per fight at 40% accuracy, slightly negative striking differential. He's taken on Dustin Stoltzfus, who's 1-2 under the UFC umbrella. He's on a 2-fight losing streak. He wins equally by submission and decision. He's a BJJ practitioner like GM3. He's got a -0.4 striking differential and only 9% takedown defense over the course of those first 3 fights, going 1 for 11 on his takedowns in his first 3 fights. Let me just say that.
Takedown offense?
His takedown, I'm sorry. Well, maybe I risked his takedown accuracy. I might have said takedown defense. His takedown accuracy, excuse me, is 9%. So he went 1 for 11 in those first 3 fights. His takedown defense is not much better. It's 50%.
The one takedown he got was a slam that knocked, like, that fucking injured the dude's arm that got him into the UFC. By the way.
And that guy was a nobody. That wasn't really any.
But then he fought Kyle Daukaus and Rodolfo Vieira, which is good competition.
Very solid competition, and also grapplers. And we've seen him struggle with grapplers. And GM3 is a great grappler. So I'm going to go with GM3 in this one all day.
I'm going to take him as well. I don't think, let's be real here. Meerschaert he's the bigger guy. I think that's what's really going to help him in this fight. I think that he's I think he's going to look like Remember when we made the weight class video, like 185, 190, how it should
Right.
go in 10-pound increments?
Yeah.
Like this Stoltzfus guy could fight at like, I feel like he could fight at like 170.
You think so?
I mean, kind of just by like
He's not the biggest dude. Yeah, you're right. That's fair to say.
kind of undersized, right? Is that just me?
No, he's right on the cusp. I think you're right.
Let's see.
He's an inch shorter. He's got 2-inch less reach advantage. He's right there. He's right on 170, 180.
But still, at the same time, like Rodolfo Vieira just kind of fucking.
Well, that dude is just one big muscle. Rodolfo Vieira.
Yeah, but he was able to get him out of there and like.
Oh, I like Rodolfo Vieira. I really do. That one loss against Fluffy.
Yeah.
That was it. Like he's a solid fighter.
Actually, yeah, I kind of take back. He's not really undersized. I just think that GM3 is just big.
He's a big dude. He's lanky.
Yeah, and he's like, I think he's got like, a little bit more girth.
And not to mention, he's been around the block. That he's got a 33-14 record. He's been around. He does his thing. He knows his game.
Yeah, I can't make another sexual reference after that. Like we can't.
No, that's it. We get banned after more than 5. All right, so we're both agreeing. We're both gonna go with GM3, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna take GM3, but do I like him as a fucking contender ever? No, I do not.
I agree, but like he's just one of those guys that you like to see fight, and he'll surprise you for sure. All right, cool. We're both gonna go GM3. We're gonna move right into the next one. Darren the Damage Elkins versus Cub Swanson. Another fight I'm very excited for. Holy cow.
Yeah, this one I am very excited for. Darren Elkins, he had a 4-fight losing streak, which would have been peace out to a lot of guys. He lost to Volkanovski. He got TKO'd by Ricardo Lamas. He lost a unanimous decision to Ryan Hall and lost to Nate Landwehr. And then he came back in 2 fights and got an RNC on Eduardo Garagori.
Yep, that's right.
No,
that was good. That was good.
Yeah, no, I almost pronounced it completely. Like,
yeah, you almost had it. I'm so proud of you.
And Derrick Minner. Derrick Minner at this point, after watching him fight last week, man, does that guy have a low fight IQ.
Dude, that's just Ryan Hall's insanely high fight IQ showing.
But like, if he just stood up, like, and didn't try to, like,
I think that he actually was kind of like, he wasn't finding anything on the feet either. I think he was getting worried because Hall was like holding his own on his feet.
No, he hurt Hall a couple times on the feet, but
he hurt him one time in the first round, that's for sure. But then Hall,
the other times it was Hall faking he was hurt to get the fight to the ground, I think.
In those high leg kicks, those high slow leg kicks, just to get you to try to take him down, are so fucking funny.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But anyway, Cub Swanson, he's coming off of that pretty brutal liver kick via the Giga kick.
Yes.
But before that, he had an impressive showing against Daniel Pineda. He beat Cron Gracie, but then you look back and you're just like, oh, he had a 4-fight losing streak as well.
Yeah.
Like,
and they're very in the same boat. They're both like 39, 38 years old. They're right there towards the end of their careers.
Yeah. But the difference is I fucking love myself some Damage. I love Darren Elkins, dude.
I love him too.
I love Cub Swanson. So this is a tough one.
Let me say this. This is possible fight of the night. I would not be surprised if this was fight of the night.
These guys are gonna fucking beat
at least to the third. I think this could be fight. Both guys take damage. Both guys throw strikes. I think this could easily been fight of the night.
Yeah, I think that Darren Elkins' advantage is he's gonna end up taking him down. And when he does take him, like that'll be that sways the momentum a little bit for Cub. But Cub is a -200 favorite, so I am taking a pretty sizable underdog right here.
Yeah, you are.
So,
but that's a fair.
Let's see what happens.
That's a very fair underdog to take because you know how the damage works.
Yeah.
We've seen him enough times.
Takes a bunch of damage, comes back and wins. He fucking chokes guys out.
Exactly. Quit is not in the vocabulary of Darren the Damage Elkins. Like you said, he was on that 4-fight losing streak over great competition. Still not good for that morale. He's now on a 2-fight winning streak, 2 finishes, and a performance of the night KO in his last time out. He's a gamer. He's gritty. He makes fights ugly, wears on his opponent. They gas out. He takes over. He's taken on Cub Swanson 2-3 in his last 5, coming off a brutal KO kick, like you said, from Giga Chikate. Was on that 4-fight losing. He was also, like you said, on that 4-fight losing streak, just like the Damage, not too long ago, and then went on a 2-fight losing streak, just like the Damage, only to lose in his last time out. So the parallels here in this fight are pretty crazy. He has some very high volume striking, a +1 striking differential, 50% accuracy, 1 takedown per fight at 51% accuracy. This fight is a war in the making, but I think Cub will be able to keep away from the clinch, stop the takedowns for the most part. I see the Damage getting a couple takedowns for sure. I think Cub gets back on his feet. I think
Round
the strike
finish Darren Elkins. I'm calling it now.
I think the strikes will start to add up, and I think Cub Swanson's able to take this one.
Do you think he finishes it though?
Oh, I don't know if I see a finish. Both guys love decisions. 2 big guys, big fan. They both win mostly by decision, so that's tough to say. But I do like Cub Swanson. We are going to disagree in this one. I'm going to go with Cub Swanson. Dan's going to go with Darren the Damage Elkins. We're going to move right into the next one, which is Diego Ferreira versus Matthias Gamrat.
Take it away.
Oh, Matthias Gamrat. 2-1 in the UFC. All fights, either performance or fight of the night. Most recently subbed by Jeremy Stevens in a minute. Stevens did not land a strike. He has a 19-1 record, a grappling heavy fight style, and a BJJ black belt.
In a minute.
Say it one more time.
Subs Jeremy Stevens in a minute.
Yes, exactly. What did I say? Knockout? Yes, he subbed him in a minute. And has a gold, Gamrat's got a gold medal in submission wrestling. He's got a +2 striking differential, 48% accuracy, 5.3 takedowns per fight at 34% takedown accuracy. That is pretty wild. And has yet to be taken down in the UFC. He's taken on UFC veteran Diego Ferreira, 3-2 in his last 5 on a 2-fight losing streak. Also, his last 3 fights have been either performance of the night or fight of the night. Has a 3rd-degree BJJ black belt. He has a +1.3 striking differential, 37% striking accuracy, 0.8 takedowns per fight, 66% takedown defense. Not good enough for Gamrat. In his last 2 losses, he was taken down 5 times and 4 times. He's a warrior. He can get back to his feet, but I see Gamrat really abusing that takedown defense and takes him down a decent amount. I want to say similar to his last 2 fights. So I'm going to go Gamrat in this one.
Yeah, I'm a little bit more hesitant on this one. I'm probably I'm gonna go Gamrat, but like this guy fought Beneil Dariush to a split decision, and look where Beneil Dariush is now. He's top 5. Yeah. He's top 5.
I think he's top 3. In the rankings.
But overall, he's not top 3.
Like, I don't think. I think there's better guys. Yeah.
Like I love Beneil Dariush, but like the chinniness of him and
his slow strikes are crazy. So slow.
Yeah, there's been a bunch of Beneil Dariush. I'm not gonna say he got lucky in a bunch of fights, but like he almost got finished by Drakkar Close and then lands a big shot and knocks him out himself.
Yeah, he's got heavy. He does have like that striking power, which gets him out of a lot of situations.
but it's slow at the same time.
It's very slow.
Yeah, he had that crazy spinning back fist over Scott Holtzman. And then beat Diego Ferreira via split decision. Then he beat Tony Ferguson dominantly. That's just to show you what happened to Tony Ferguson, which is
I know,
sad.
very sad.
So I think he's at an inflated position in the rankings just because he beat Tony Ferguson. End of the day, though, styles make fights. I think Gamrat is Polish fucking power, man. I don't care what weight class it is. Polish fucking power. I think Gamrat's able to get Ferreira on the ground and hold him there.
Yep.
Land some fucking strikes and maybe get that finish. I mean, Ferreira's no slouch on the ground. This guy submitted Anthony Pettis. So this fight I'm pretty iffy on. I'd say 60% for Gamrat. I wouldn't bet on this fight. Gamrat's like almost a 2-1 favorite.
Yeah,
I don't really like
really
that.
like Gamrat. I just think, like you said, that style, that it doesn't. We've seen it 2 times in the past, just recently from Diego Ferreira, just not being able to stop those takedowns, getting complacent on the ground. I see the same thing.
Yeah, and but he did fight Beneil Dariush to a split decision, you know?
He did. Yeah, for sure. MMA math, it's tough.
This year. It's not like it was like 3 years ago. It was this year.
You're right.
So it's like, who knows? Like, he could sweep him on the ground and get on top and fucking sub him himself, you know? So we'll see what happens. I'm going to ride tentatively on Gamrat, but I'm a little worried about this pick.
Yeah, I don't blame you, but we're both going to agree. We're both going to go with Matthias Gamrat in this one. We're going to move right into the next one, which is Rafael Sansao versus Ricky Simone.
You want to take this? I'll take the next 2.
That sounds like a plan to me. Rafael Sansao, he's on a 3-fight losing streak. 2 of those losses coming from 2 fighters that are trending down drastically, in Cody Garbrandt and Marlon Moraes recently. I'm not hating on them at all. They're both great fighters, but their stock is going down.
They're chinny as fuck.
Very chinny guys. And you got subbed by one and knocked out by one. So what does that say about you? He got knocked down, actually, in both of those fights. One ended in a sub, that Moraes one did. But he still got knocked down in both those fights. He looks slow a bit. He's 39 years old, so it makes sense. He's got a +1 striking differential, 1.5 takedowns per fight at 38% accuracy, 80% takedown defense. Taking on Ricky Simone, 7-2 in the UFC on a 3-fight winning streak. An absolute takedown machine. He averages 7 per fight at 54% accuracy. And in his last 4 fights, he's registered 6, 7, 7, and 6 takedowns in those fights. Pretty crazy. He has a slightly negative striking differential, with most of his strikes coming from ground strikes. Sansao is very good with defending those takedowns, only being taken down 1 time in 5 fights, but only 5 were attempted on him in that same time span. And he was taking, for the most part, I think in 4 of those fights, he was taking on strikers, actual just strikers. So it ends up actually making sense. Simone might have some trouble taking Sansao down in the beginning, but I think he'll be able to take this fight to the ground eventually, and Simone will take over. So I'm going to go with Simone in this one.
Yeah, it's hard not to disagree with that. But Sansao is no joke himself. He could potentially knock out Ricky Simone.
He was never
Ricky
known
Simone
for that
got knocked out by a washed up Uriah Faber.
Yeah, that's true. It's just the age thing, and no offense to Sansao, he was never, a KO guy. I think I'm looking at it now. He's had 2 KO TKOs since 2012. So he's mostly going to decision in, I want to say 75% of those fights, a sub here and there, TKO here and there, but he's not known for that striking power.
Yeah. I think this fight's going to go to a decision though. unless a Sunsao mostly goes to decision unless he gets choked out or fucking knocked out by Cody Garbrandt in the last second of the second round. He won all 3 rounds with Corey Sandhagen. He has a win over Rob Font. Like, he has a win over Marlon Moraes as well. He has a win over Aljo, the champ. Like, he's put together a nice career. It's nothing to look back on and be like, like he could have done more or whatever. Like, he's put together a solid.
He's fought enough for. He's been fighting since 2009. He was fighting in WEC. He was one of those guys. He's a fucking fighter. He's for real.
Yeah. So, but I do see that coming to an end rather soon, and the UFC just loves throwing these old fucking like older dudes with like kind of a name on them, against these young killers. They've always been fed to the wolves,
Always. That's how it works, bro. Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I'm gonna take Ricky Simone. Sorry, Rafael. I love you though.
Yeah, awesome. So many good fights. You can't hate on the guy. He's a fucking legend. He's been doing it forever. But we're both gonna agree. We're both gonna go with Ricky Simone in this one. We're gonna move right into the next one, which is Amanda Lemos versus Angela Hill.
This fight will be very interesting.
Very.
The odds makers are
smoking crack.
Not really giving it.
They might
minus 400 favorite for Amanda Lemos. Fucking Angela Hill is a fucking dope fucking striker. Like, come on now. Come on.
Hey man, I don't.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. I agree with you. I think she's fucking awesome. But dude, these odds makers are really in Lemos's favor.
Well, partly is Angela Hill didn't look great in her last fight against Tecia Torres. I mean, she kind of like from distance, she got outlanded by 50 strikes, like
against someone who doesn't necessarily strike that much.
I said Tecia Torres can strike.
You think so?
Yeah, I think she strikes.
Yeah, she just has those little T-Rex arms. It's tough, but she does make it work. You're right.
She makes it work.
Yeah.
Amanda Lemos I feel like she's young, but she's 34, It's weird.
She got a late start.
Yeah, definitely late bloomer, but anyway. Angela Hill, I just wish there was like an atomweight division because I feel like she would be a top 3 in that division,
I don't know why the UFC hasn't had an atomweight division. I think it would be absolutely
an atomweight division is more like the case for having an atomweight division is stronger than the case for having a featherweight division.
I agree 100%. 100 times over.
I think they should have both because you can have Kayla Harrison come in and be a dominant champion at 145.
And literally have there's so many atomweight fighters. There's an abundance of atomweight fighters.
Yeah, it'll be a very competitive division.
Yeah.
Yeah. Angela Hill, she was in my opinion, she was on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fight winning streak until she fought Tecia Torres. Not on paper, but in my opinion, she beat both Michelle Watterson and Claudia Gadelha. She got robbed in the Gadelha fight for sure, and I think she beat Michelle Watterson. But hey, that's just me. Fucking me and a lot of other people.
Yeah, I think she. Yeah, I agree with you. I really think she beat her in that Michelle Watterson fight, in my opinion.
But Amanda Lemos has got some fucking power. Like,
no joke.
She fucking flattened Caneo.
But you got to look at that level of competition difference.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why these odds makers, I'm just like, what are you doing?
Like, yeah, the level of competition is night and day for these two.
like Angela Hill has wins over Hannah Cyphers, Loma Lokbune, like beat Michelle Watterson, we both think.
Yes.
You know, like,
and also that Claudia Gadella fight was very close also.
And she's super active. Like
she'll fight 3 or 4 times a year without a doubt every year.
Yeah, like going back to January of 2020, she's fought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So she fights 3 times a year, and she does commentary on top. Does that commentary on top of it? So
yeah,
she's definitely going to be like a voice of the UFC when she retires too, which is going to be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But do I do it?
Do it.
I'm gonna ride by Angela Hill.
Wow, that's a bold move right there. I'm gonna start off with Angela Hill in this one,
but I'm not. I'm gonna throw a little bit of money on that. Amanda Lemos is probably gonna win this fight, but Angela Hill has so much experience, and she's gotten so much better in just like the last 3 years.
She really has, and she's 37 years old now. She's not too young, but yeah, she's still ever evolving her game. She's changing weight classes. She's doing the whole thing. A real veteran of the sport. She's got a plus 0.5 striking differential, 50% accuracy, 77% takedown defense. She is, in her last 4, she's lost 3 of her last 4. Very close fights, just like Dan said. But she's taken on Amanda Lemos, who's really trending as of recently. She's on a 4-fight winning streak, 4-1 in her last 5. A little bit younger.
Nasty finishes.
Absolutely nasty finishes. 2 back-to-back KOs versus Montserrat Conejo and Livia Souza. And not to mention Miranda Granger sub in the very first round. She has a +1 striking differential at 63% accuracy. Also 2 takedowns per fight at 100% accuracy. She's shot for 4 takedowns in the UFC. She's landed 4 takedowns in the UFC. And also she has 100% takedown defense. Has yet to be taken down inside the UFC. Both girls have a decent amount of strikes per minute, with Lemos 6.3 and Angela Hill 5.7. But I really can't go against Amanda Lemos in this one. I know that Angela Hill has the far better resume and names and competition, but Lemos is up and coming, and I think this is just for 150. I think she's just here to put Angela Hill's name on her resume. She'll have a 5-fight winning streak. You can like surge her up into the top 15. She's a new name for the top 15 of the flyweight of the strawweight division. And can I say this? She's a strawweight, and in her last 3 fights, she has 4 knockdowns, which is pretty.
She's powerful
for a strawweight. She has power on power. It's really insane how much power that she has for a strawweight, what you don't usually see. So I think that is a big difference maker. I'm gonna have to disagree with you. I'm gonna have to go with Amanda Lemos in this one, but I get why you're picking Angela.
I don't hate you for it.
Yeah, it'll be a good fight without a doubt. But
I have a very, very big bias towards Angela Hill.
Yeah, and yeah, I get it. I have fighters like that. Well, I do the same exact thing. I just love them, and I'm a big fan, and it's hard to pick against them. But we are gonna disagree in this one. Dan's gonna go Angela Hill. I'm gonna go with Amanda Lemos in this one, and we're gonna move right into the next one. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson versus Bilal Muhammad.
Yeah, and speaking about fighters that we love that we have to pick against, I'm sorry, Bilal, I love you, but
you know what? Not a lot of people can say that, but this podcast actually, we're fans of Bilal Muhammad. He probably gets the most hate of any fighter on the UFC roster, possibly Greg Hardy and him, and he's not a woman beater. So
why do you think he gets hate?
Dude, I don't know why he gets hate, but on MMA Twitter, I know people are pretty brutal on there, but he gets a lot of hate, man. Don't know what it is. I think he's a pretty nice guy.
He's a solid fucking dude.
I thought he was too.
But anyway, yeah, I digress.
Right.
Yeah. So looking into this fight, Stephen Thompson last 3 fights, Gilbert Burns, He unfortunately lost to. I think he could have won that fight if it was just that one takedown in the third round that cost him that fight, in my opinion.
Fight sucked.
And in that last title fight, yeah, the fight did kind of suck. But before that, he he didn't wipe the floor with them, but he beat Vicente Luque and he beat Jeff Neal fairly cleanly.
Yeah, no, I would say that's fair to say because I think both fights were very one-sided.
Yeah, he outstruck them all day. And you see what Vicente Luque is doing right now. So
he's up there.
How good Stephen Thompson is. Bilal is a pressure fighter. He loves to, he'll pressure, he likes to march forward with pressure. He'll fucking throw the punches. He'll fucking clinch. He'll maybe throw you to the ground, beat you up a little bit, let you back up, punch you, that's how he fights,
Yeah.
Bilal. Fucking we all know his fucking style. But Stephen Thompson is like the perfect antithesis to like the style that Bilal Muhammad brings.
Right.
Slick, he's gonna get out of the way and he's gonna counter strike and he's gonna move. And that's what I see happening in this fight. He's gonna be switching stances, he's gonna be just kind of picking him apart from the outside while Bully B tries to just go in and fucking take just go in and do that patented pressure. But
yeah, that's what he does.
I just don't see him winning.
That's
as I love Bilal, but and I will remember the name, but I got Wonder Boy in this one.
Yeah, dude, Bilal Muhammad, if you look at his stats and you look at his resume, you're like, wow, holy fuck. He's 10-1-1 in his last 12 fights. He is he's 5-0-1 technically in his last 6 fights with that one Leon Edwards eye poke. Leon Edwards would have beat him up, I think, without a doubt. He was looking like he was already going to beat him up, but he did poke him in the eye. It wasn't no contest. He's 4-0-1 in his last 5. He's coming off that win over Damian Maia. I think it might have been Damian Maia's last fight, if I'm not mistaken, in the UFC. So we're seeing a different version of Damian Maia than we normally would. But he's got a plus 0.8 striking differential, only 42% accuracy, 1.8 takedowns per fight at 28% accuracy, and 91% takedown defense. Pretty stellar with that takedown defense. You look back on his resume though, and you're like, oh, it kind of makes sense why he's 10-1-1. His only loss is to hands of talc Jeff Neal, who won last week. I can't believe he fucking won. It's unbelievable. I'm not a fan of his anymore. But
good.
What's up? Oh, you're lagging hard, body, dude.
He looked good. Jeff Neal looked good.
Yeah, he did look good. And yeah, I'll agree with you there. He looked good, but I didn't want to see him win, if I'm being honest with you. But he's gonna be taking on the Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. 2-3 in his last 5. Also fought Jeff Neal, hands of talc recently. Put on a fucking clinic though, absolute clinic. Both guys mostly go to decision. I could see a decision in this one, but Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, he's got a plus 1.25 striking differential at 43% accuracy, 73% takedown defense. He's been fighting forever. He's been fighting since 2012. Just recently he started getting to, we've seen him lose. We've seen a chink in the armor, but like he's still the real deal. He's been fighting absolute killers. So I'm going to for sure go with Stephen Wonderboy Thompson in this one. I think that he's able to pick apart Bilal Muhammad, and I don't know if I see a finish. Bilal Muhammad's a very tough dude, but I definitely see a Stephen Wonderboy Thompson victory in this fight.
Yeah, and you mentioned the 42% accuracy in Bilal strikes. A lot of his strikes are to set his opponent up against the cage. So he's throwing that to get his opponent to back up a little bit, and then boom, he's in his zone. He's got octagon control, and then he can outland his opponent.
Exactly.
Wonderboy's going to be on the outside during this fight, but I think he wins it all day.
As he does always. He's always moving backwards up against the fence and still outstriking you. That's just how he works.
Yeah.
But I am glad that we're hopefully going to see a Stephen Wonderboy Thompson victory this week. So I'm pretty amped about that. But either way, we're both agreeing. We're both going to go with Stephen Thompson. We're going to move right into the next one, which is the co-main event. And oh no, which is the main event.
It's the
Excuse
main
me.
event.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That Derrick Lewis versus Chris Daukaus, a very interesting fight at heavyweight right now. And
I already know who I'm taking, so you could go ahead and
I can go right ahead. All right, so I'm going to start at the more prominent fighter, been around a long time, and is an absolute threat at heavyweight. Top 3 fighter, I would say. Derrick Lewis, 4-1 in his last 5. He was on a 4-fight winning streak over Alir Latifi, Olmanic, Curtis Blades, Ivanov. Solid guys, some more than others. And then he lost his last time out one-sidedly, not even close. It reminded me of that what was that other fight that he had that was just so fucking terrible? That it kind of reminded me of that Curtis Blades fight, just very boring.
Well, he knocked Curtis Blades the fuck out.
That's true. I know, but he was getting outstruck pretty bad already. Then he led an uppercut from hell.
Wake up, and then he goes and knocks somebody the fuck out.
Exactly. But he faced Cyril Gane. Cyril Gane outstruck him 98-16. We all know how Derrick Lewis fights. He's looking to counter, he's looking to knock you out, and that's exactly what he does. That's exactly what he does. He goes out and he achieves what he's doing. He has an even striking differential, only 2.5 strikes per minute, 50% accuracy. He did struggle for a long time with the takedown defense, only 55% takedown defense. He has gotten pretty good at it as of recently, really evolved his game. Curtis Blades went 0 for 3. Olmanic, another great grappler, only went 1 for 1, but that was kind of one-sided in Derrick Lewis's favor.
And then Derrick Lewis landed that flying.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
I think
what an athlete,
right? Yeah,
absolutely.
I love Derrick Lewis,
the Black Beast, and he lives to the name. He's going to be taking on Chris Daukaus, who is crazy trending upward right now. He's only 4-0 in the UFC. He only got signed back in 2020. 4 straight wins over Parker Porter, Rogerio Nascimento, Olmanic, and Shamil Abdurakhimov.
Yeah,
competition. He was older. This guy.
2 opponents, like their combined age was like fucking like 91. You know?
Oh, for sure. That's totally fair to say. Like, we're just seeing the beginning of Chris Daukaus. This guy's going to be around for a very long time to come. Super talented. His last 3 fights
he will never be champion.
Well, I don't want to
say that now.
I will not count that out for sure. I cannot tell the future. Who would have guessed that Amanda Nunes would have lost this week? So it's pretty crazy. But he's got 4 straight. He's got 4 straight fights. 4 straight wins in the UFC, all KOs, 3 of them in the first round. His last 3 fights have all been performance of the night. And over the course of his first 4 fights, he has a plus 5.6 striking differential at 53% accuracy. Just absolutely crazy numbers. 100% takedown defense, has yet to been taken down. 64% striking defense. Very quick on the feet. And in those 4 fights, he's had 6 knockdowns. And the thing with him, like, he's a pretty smart guy. He doesn't he'll wobble you, he'll hurt you, but like, he's smart. He doesn't rush anything. He'll wait it out. So, which actually leads to more knockdowns in his favor. He's just a super smart guy. And we're just seeing the very beginning of it. And
pretty quick hands, I'll give him that.
He's very solid. And he's actually the favorite in this fight, which I can't believe. That's pretty, I don't even know if I would do that. That seems pretty ballsy. I don't know who's doing this, but he's a minus 140 favorite. It doesn't make any sense. I actually am gonna pick the favorite in this fight. I'm gonna go with Chris Daukaus, but I would have guessed that Derrick Lewis would be around a minus 200 in this fight.
Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna go the opposite way. You said level of competition. Derrick Lewis has fought Francis Ngannou. He's fought Curtis Blades. He's fought prime JDS or late prime JDS.
No, but that was not planned. Yes.
He fought
JDM.
Daniel Cormier.
Yeah, there we go.
I mean, it was 2019. Yeah, I guess so. But anyway, he does have wins over. He knocked out Marcin Tybura. He obviously had that amazing knockout over Alexander Volkov, which made him the fan favorite that he is today. And you just can't fucking count this man out. I see Daukaus hitting him pretty hard in the first round, maybe rocking him. And then he'll get hit by one of those Derrick Lewis right hands, and then he's going to be stiff as a fucking board. I'm riding with Derrick Lewis and his hot balls all day. Hot balls energy. Let's fucking go. We don't need to dive any further. We both know these guys are probably just going to fucking stand up and fucking bang.
Yeah.
Unless
it's a class heavyweight fight.
Who can grapple.
Oh yeah, he can grapple, but he prefers to take care of business on the feet for sure.
Yeah, and I just see Derrick Lewis. It's like it only takes one.
Yeah.
I think Derrick Lewis can eat more of Daukaus' shot. Like, it's going to take a flurry of Daukaus shots to get Derrick Lewis out of there. It's going to take one shot from Derrick Lewis to get.
Yeah. That's just Derrick Lewis's MO though. That's every fight he's ever fought in. Like, it only takes one shot for you to get fucking knocked out by Derrick Lewis. That's all it takes. That's why he's at the place where he is right now. Gets outstruck all the time. But he's just waiting. He's loading up on that one punch and he lands it at a crazy volume. So I get it. I honestly, dude, I'm actually like dumbfounded that Chris Daukaus is a favorite in this fight. I think I'm going to put some Derrick Lewis like parlays as a nice underdog maybe in this. I honestly can't believe it. I'm kind of like, it's very weird. I seriously can't believe it. He's got the competition on his side. He's got the experience. He just he doesn't have the, I mean, he's got the weight, he's got the reach, he's got fucking almost everything. But yeah, I guess we're gonna disagree on this one. Dan's gonna go with the underdog, Derrick Lewis, and I'm gonna go with Chris Daukaus. I mean, like, he cashes as the underdog so often, Derrick Lewis. So it is a good money play. But
anybody that had him against Blades was freaking the fuck out.
I bet, dude. I bet. I think I did. I almost shit my pants. Or I did shit my pants. All right, we're done here. We've been going on long enough. This is like an hour and 45-minute podcast. So we're done.
Yeah.
It's in the books. It's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. We're out of here. No brainer.